Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalrin, and in today's video I want to ask you guys a question. If they announced legacy servers at Blizzcon, would you play them? Which is exactly the name of the topic that I found for a forum post on MMO Champion. Now, this topic itself has been around for a while. The idea of legacy servers and private servers has been around in the game since Warlords General at the very least, or at least that's where it got a lot of traction and a lot of hype behind it. In an expansion where there's literally jack shit to do unless you're an avid PvEer and somebody who was not sick of the constant green hue that the last year of raid for Warlords General gave you. If you're somebody who actually enjoyed that expansion, good for you, but a lot of people didn't. So as a palate cleanser to the mess that ended up being Warlords General, a lot of people tried out private servers and vanilla servers. Some people even stuck to it, and the whole hype behind vanilla servers became so big that Nostarius had to be shut down back in the day. And like many people, I have checked out Nostarius when it was popular. So let's talk about the legacy servers yet again. Let's open up the can on that topic again and ask you guys a question: would you play them? Before we go on with the actual video, I do want to establish my experience with World of Warcraft. I am not a vanilla player. I started in Kata, somewhere between mid-tier of Firelands, closer to the end of Firelands, and then Dragon Soul raid, which is the raid that I farmed for the longest time. It's gonna be my favorite raid because it's my first raid, nothing I can really do about it. And I've seen Nostarius, I played it, I tried it out for maybe a week. But even with Warlords of General being terrible expansion, I still had channel responsibilities for my main YouTube channel. And Nostarius just wasn't the kind of content you could put on YouTube and keep your channel, especially if you're somebody who is trying to grow. So due to my channel responsibilities, for the most part, I didn't really explore or play much on Nostarius. I did get a rogue to level 10 and a hunter to level 10 as a survival melee at most, but I kind of just give up from there. And now the question is, would you play Nostarius in the next expansion if you were to reveal it? Or if they were to announce like a service, would you play them? I guess to answer that question would be difficult, because we don't really know what Blizzard is going to come up with in the next expansion. It could be the most exciting damn thing in the world, but it could also be the most boring thing ever. And if it's as busy as Legion, it's going to be hard to decide and split yourself between one or the other. But if you were to ask yourself, and let's pretend for example, that the next expansion has the size, magnitude, and the content of what Legion has. For example, not saying it's the exact same story, but just the scale of it. So it's a better question to ask yourself, would you try them right now while Legion is happening? Or maybe a couple patches ago when Legion was really hammering you with Nighthold and Suramar and everything. And I would say right now, in the current state where I'm playing the game, I would say I have too much on my hands to even try or even level a full character on a legacy server. Let alone do I have any time to play any other video games on the side. And I do have some small time, which I'm basically trying to use not to wear myself out from World of Warcraft completely. I still think there's too much PvP and PvE that I want to do with WoW. And then I'm doing a regular, with also a variety of different alts where Blizzard made alting a lot harder and much bigger of a challenge than it used to be in the past. I'm just still busy with the game, and as well, you know, the channel as I make World of Warcraft video footage. Original vanilla server idea, when it came out, Nostarius, happened back when WoD happened. And WoD, again, was miserable. I hated it, the expansion, but what I enjoyed about the expansion is the fact that my channel was growing, and the fact that we were streaming and doing 5-5-1-1 duels, and combat rogues back then were actually pretty OP compared to, let's say, Outlaw rogues right now in comparison. So vanilla private servers was just felt right. It felt perfect. It was something for you to do that's still kind of like WoW, but if you played it, you would know that those are two different games at this point. The questing, the class gearing. On the surface, it's similar or same models, and on surface, it is same dungeons, same mobs, but overall, the game is like another MMO, almost like a clone, but the mechanics of how you do things, the very base level, are just so different. I mean, if you were to have whole other models, it wouldn't even be recognizable. So I feel like back when Warlords General came out, people were like, yes, I hate WoD, give me anything good. But if you were to take an expansion, I guess, as successful as Legion, and I would say that Legion was more successful than Warlords of Draenor, and so far, we're still in Legion, haven't seen the end of it. So, it's hard to gauge and judge that decision, at least for me personally. The hype that we saw back in Warlords of Draenor, though, for vanilla servers, is just not quite there in Legion, or at least I haven't seen it. For me, the best way to see just how hype people are for legacy servers would be to go to Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. For the most part, I'm a pretty big WoW guy. I watch a lot of regular trash YouTube channels, and then I watch some quality stuff like Philip DeFranco for my daily news. And of course, I watch a lot of WoW guys, from Bellular to Preach, hell, even Trade Chat. I watch them all, man. But even though I'm a pretty big WoW guy, YouTube still does not really recommend me a lot, if not any, legacy server discussions or legacy server videos. Not as much as it used to back in WoD. In WoD, it used to be able to see so many people streaming on various private servers, and I'm pretty sure you still can. You just have to go looking for it. I'm just saying, in the past, it would recommend it to me because that was what was popular at the time when it comes to World of Warcraft. PvP for Warlords of Draenor wasn't really there, but PvP videos for Wrath vanilla servers, Wrath BC and vanilla servers on YouTube was getting recommended. I was getting recommended videos of private servers, but nothing as of the last 6 months, I think. It's been a while. Like, you really have to go looking for it if you want to find content. So I'm not saying there isn't content out there. There probably is, and the channels are probably very successful. It's just they're not relevant enough, I guess. I don't like the word anymore after watching iDubbbz's content comp on Asian Jake Paul. But it's just the relevancy for YouTube. YouTube doesn't recommend those kind of videos for you as much anymore. At least it doesn't for me. And I basically live and breathe World of Warcraft. I mean, if you ask me, would Vanilla, BC, or Wrath of Lich King expansions be fun to explore? I'd say yeah, but by myself, probably not really. But maybe with friends to level for a little bit. But I have these type of friends. They're the kind of guys that will play WoW, but they'll get bored of it pretty quickly. They might stay for 1 or 2 raid tiers, but then they split and play other games, or they do other things. And I'm somebody who will PvP and raid when my friends are no longer interested in it, because I like WoW. I've been enjoying WoW. Whether it be from the stream, or having buddies to PvP with, or being a raiding guild, I enjoy WoW. And even sometimes when I'm just hanging out, and I'm just trying to, you know, just clear my head, get away from things, and kind of just reboot my day, I'll literally go play some World of Warcraft. So for me, I guess I would enjoy it with my friends for maybe like a week or two, but then all of us would go back to playing other games. And man, I just can't see prospects of myself playing it for too long. Maybe if I tried it and I just enjoyed it so much, that would be great. But the game is different. For me, if I were to try a new game, I usually like to be competitive and try competitive games. I mean, I've only played, what, 1 visual novel game in my life? I mean, I guess that is something that you don't actually need to adjust to. But most of the games I would like to have some sort of PvP to it. But even though Overwatch has great PvP, or maybe Battlefront coming out soon will have great PvP as well, Destiny, those are the games that I have to get used to and learn how to get better at. For me, I'm the kind of guy where it takes for me a while to get fairly decent at something, or even halfway decent. It takes me a while, especially shooters. So for me, it really just doesn't feel good to spend, what, the first maybe 2-3 weeks just getting pounded to the dirt back to back to back until I finally start figuring things out. World of Warcraft, at least Legion, is something I can do right now. It's something I can get into, it's something I can explore, it's something I feel like I'm proficient enough to enjoy it and have fun and experiment with. And the rest of the games would almost feel like a struggle. So for me, I mean, unless I really find something that grips me, it's really hard for me to try a brand new game and just find some crazy enjoyment out of it where I keep coming back to back to back, or unless it has some amazing story. Anyway, the expansion that Blizzard might be unveiling at Blizzcon could also curb my enthusiasm for legacy servers, which, as you can see, is not quite there. Should they make legacy servers? Yes, I think they should. Would I be able to play them? Well, if the next expansion has nearly as much content as Legion, or if the quality is better or the same as Legion, then I doubt I'll have any time for legacy servers. I mean, if we have a scale and the story and mechanics and interesting things that Legion brought us, the things I liked, if we have just basically copy and paste with new mechanics, but it's fresh with a new story that I like and raid tiers that I enjoy and boss fights and Mythic Plus dungeons or mechanics of sorts that I like, I doubt I will find myself gravitating to private servers or legacy servers, because it wouldn't be private anymore, they'd be legacy. Next expansion could also redo the leveling experience altogether. I mean, from a bunch of leaks that I look online and we see this and that and this and that, some of them do cross, and I guess it could be just, you know, fan-made. We don't really know what the leaks are from, for sure. Most of them are probably fan-made, but a lot of people keep copying and pasting the idea of like a new leveling experience or a new way of questing or a new experience of questing. So the new expansion could honestly redo the questing system. It might not be as punishing and as brutal and as quaint as vanilla was, because running back to a city to get some food, ammo, and food for your pet, I actually thought it was charming. But the new system could bring, or the new leveling system, if they do unveil one, could bring similar aspects, plus what Legion did right, minus what Legion didn't do right, and give you a whole new feeling. So then that means I'm gonna sink even more time, not even just playing, you know, max level content. That means I'm gonna even sink time leveling characters and re-experiencing the leveling experience, the questing experience. So again, even more time that I'll be sinking in the new expansion, and even less time I'd be able to play in the private servers. Although, even though I might personally not be on board with the idea of private servers, at least from current standpoint, if the YouTube channel could maybe sway this. If there's a big need for World of Warcraft YouTubers that are gonna make videos on legacy servers, I think it could be an opportunity for the channel. And that alone could get me to level a character and at least, you know, go as far as exploring to the max level. So I guess there's possibility in that, but that kind of depends on the market. If people really want it and if that's what they want to see, I could offer that as something my channel could provide. But that's really a channel thing. I am, I guess, approaching this in a more business aspect to it, because I never played back in vanilla. I don't have the nostalgic feel that a lot of people that are passionate about it talk about it. I wish I could feel the same fashion, but I can't, because I didn't play back then. It's like trying to play an old school game right now. If I were to go and play Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Oblivion right now, besides the graphics, which I know you can get mods for, and some of the cringy dialogue parts and the questing stuff, I feel like it would take me a little bit to really get the ball rolling. I played that game back in the day, so it'll be great in my heart, but if somebody never played that game and then we'll look at Oblivion, a lot of people would just be turned off. It would take them a long while before they really get into the story and into the world, and once the graphics and the janky animations and the guard systems kind of get past you, then you can really enjoy and appreciate the game. So that's an example of a game that I would go back and play, and I would appreciate it for what it is and for the nostalgia that it gave me. For vanilla WoW, I just simply didn't play back then, so I just don't have the same, I guess, fire burning for it. But I guess this is where I want to leave you guys off with a question. What would you do? If they were to announce legacy servers for BlizzCon, would you end up playing them? And which one would you play? BC, Wrath, or old school vanilla? Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you guys in the next video. Be sure to give this video a like or a dislike. Ratings apparently help YouTube videos out a lot, and if you guys could, even if you don't normally comment, if you could please leave a comment. I'd like to get a discussion down below going to see what you guys would say, because if that means I might want to prep myself to learn some basic vanilla stuff or whatever expansion I guess I could try for legacy server if we were to get one, then I better get doing my homework right now. Thank you so much for watching again. I'll see all of you in the next one.